Hello students, today I am proceeding with the remaining part of the story, The Adventures of Toto. I told you that Toto was a mischievous monkey which was bought and brought up by grandfather. He was put in the private zoo of grandfather, but grandmother did not accept him as the pet. Now I am telling you, when grandfather was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable home in the stable, where he had for a companion the family donkey Nana. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. To his surprise, he found Nana without apparent cause pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. So finally Toto was accepted by grandmother and he was given a comfortable place in the stable where he had his companion friend, a family donkey Nana. It was the first night of Toto in the stable and grandfather went there to see whether he is comfortable. To the surprise of grandfather, he found that Nana, without any cause, without any apparent reason, was pulling her halter, was pulling her rope. Halter means rope, and trying to keep her head as far as possible from the bundle of hay. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches, across her buttocks, and she jerked back and she moved back, dragging Toto with her also. He had fastened onto her long ears with his sharp little teeth. Toto and Nana never became friends. Now in the next paragraph it has been told how Toto used to take bath. A great treat for Toto during the cold winter evenings was the large bowl of warm water given him by grandfather for his bath. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand, then gradually step into the bath, first one foot, then the other, as he had seen me doing, until he was into the water up to his neck. Toto was given a great welcome during the cold winter evenings, and a large bowl of warm water was given to him for his bath by grandfather. He would cleverly check the temperature of water with his hands. He would put his legs with his feet step by step, first one foot, then another foot into the water, and then go into the water for taking bath, and he would take the water up to his neck. Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hands or feet and rub himself all over his body. When the water became cold, he would get out of it and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. If anyone laughed at him during this performance, Toto's feelings would be hurt and he would refuse, he would deny to go on with his bath. One day, Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. So one day it happened that Toto was boiling himself. A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. Finding the water just warm enough for a bath, he got in with his head sticking out from the open kettle. This was just fine for a while until the water began to boil. Toto then raised himself a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. He continued hopping up and down for some time until grandmother arrived and hauled him half boiled out of the kettle. So when there was a large kitchen kettle was left on the stove, on the fire, for boiling tea, Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, he decided to get inside the warm water. He thought it would be comfortable for him to sit there. So he got into the container, and what did he do? With his head sticking out from his open kettle, this was fine for some times, but when the water began to boil, he started jumping inside the container. He was continuously hopping up and down for some times, until the grandmother arrived there and took the Toto out of the kettle half boiled. If the grandmother would not arrive there, what would have happened? He would be burnt. If there is a part of the brain especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. He was always tearing things to pieces. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. So there was especially mischief developed in his brain, in his mind, and he used to tear the things and clothes into pieces. He used to get hold of the dress of the aunt of author and make a hole into it. One day at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. My grandmother screamed and Toto threw a plate at her. One of my aunts refused forward and received a glass of water in the face. When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through a window. So once there was a plate of pulao that was placed on the table, and Toto threw the plate to one of the aunts of author, and he went outside from the window. We found him in the branches of the jackfruit tree. The dish is still in his arms. He remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. And then, in order to spite grandmother, who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down from the tree and chattered with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. So he remained on the jackfruit tree, and he was continuously eating every grain of rice there and enjoying it. And when he finished the grains, when he finished the pulao, he threw the plate from the branches of the tree and it was broken into 100 pieces. Obviously means clearly, Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for a long time. So they were not in such a situation that they could keep the Toto for a long time in their house. Even grandfather realized that we were not well-to-do. Well-to-do means rich people, and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains and wallpaper. So grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. So grandfather was also not in the condition to face such problems and situations created by Toto, and he decided to sell it. So he found the Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him only in 3 rupees. Thank you.